And action!
Hi, everybody, and welcome to SA Rugby Magazine. I'm Kevin Ferguson, and I've got Zelen now with me. Zelen, the editor of SA Rugby Magazine. Welcome.
Thank you, Kev. It is great to be here again.
Yes, well, it's always great to see you, and quite a product you're putting out there in the market. I think the SA Rugby Magazine website's the number one website in the world.
Of course it is.
All down to you.
It's got nothing to do with my great team of guys who put their lives on hold to make it happen.
Exactly. Anyway,
Yeah.
you're an expert on rugby, I would assume. Expert on flat earth.
I feel like I'm in a court of law. So,
We haven't done much content because we've been overdosed with the World Cup and various other things. So we're coming out of our hangover and want to get back into it. A lot of competitions are well advanced, and we're getting into the Springbok season. So we wanted to talk today about two games. Bulls versus Northampton, flying there.
Yep.
I believe there were some issues with travel.
yep.
Maybe you could expand on that, and maybe I can expand on why. I don't know why it's an issue. I think everybody that... well, let me ask you the question. What's the issue around travel?
So Jake has come out and he's been pretty upset about the fact that his team had to travel to England on 8 different flights. So, from a rugby coach's perspective, you can understand it. They've got a massive game this week. It's a knockout game. It's a playoff match in the Champions Cup. And his team has had to get there on 8 separate flights.
Yeah.
SA Rugby have responded by saying it is true that team did travel on 8 separate flights, but that's because we only found out 48 hours before they had to leave that they were actually going to be in this game and the destination that they were traveling to. So you can understand logistically, probably quite tricky.
I suppose we could understand it from both sides.
Yeah.
One, South Africa is an incredible destination in terms of people wanting to come and see it. And we're getting out of season, but still a lot of people are coming in. So getting flights into Cape Town and out of Cape Town is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
And, from what I understand is that the SARu are picking up all the costs on these things until because we're not the 4 teams in the URC aren't members yet,
Right.
and don't get to share in the spoils of that. So SARu are picking up the costs, and in order to revive and build on playing in the URC, which I think we can all agree is a great thing. Which we can all agree is a good thing, and maybe just a little bit of understanding both ways could go a long way.
Yeah, they could have blocked out all of those seats in advance, but if the Bulls had lost to Lyon at the weekend, it would have cost SA Rugby 4 million rand for flights that they weren't going to use.
Yeah.
So
Look, you can't book flights without people's names, right? And you're not going to pick your team until after a game. So it is a bit of a complex nightmare.
Yeah.
But that said, they are in Northampton. Northampton, top of the table. They've lost 1 out of 13 games. A formidable side. And what amazes me is they're only 3-point favorites to win this game.
incredible. I mean, and I think. I think perhaps that might be the method in Jake's madness, is getting the media to write the Bulls off. Look, these guys have come at short notice on 8 different flights. He's probably not going to pick his best team because they're playing Munster when they get back in the URC.
And that is important to Jake, yeah?
That's massively important because you have to finish near the top of the log, obviously, to qualify for Champions Cup next year, and the Bulls are very much in the running for the URC. So that would be their point of focus, because even if they beat Northampton,
We got to go back again.
alluding to your point about South Africa not being fully fledged members in the European Championship setup, they'd have to fly again. So the chances of winning a quarterfinal away, a semi-final away, and a final away are pretty slim.
Well, these are, excuse me, especially after a World Cup year, these are all the intricacies and difficulties of managing this project of playing in the competitions.
Yeah.
I think everybody will agree that the competitions are great. I certainly am enjoying them. But it's a tough ask, and this is where, we're talking about. For me, I understand Jake's use of the flight difficulties and everything, but I think you're right in that this is more to give his team, get people to write them off, and this is what happened with the Stormers in Leicester. I mean, the Stormers sent They didn't send one first-team player. I think it was captained by Brock Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, no one gave them a chance.
And they pushed Leicester, yeah.
I think it was 35-26, yeah?
Yeah, 36-25, or something in that region, yeah.
Something in that region. So I think that's the strategy. But to me, Northampton at home, weather is going to be typical Northampton or British weather. Crap. 19 kilometer an hour winds, gusts of winds, maybe stronger than that. 19, I think it's temperature 16 to 6 degrees. So you probably play that game's in the evening. So you're probably looking at the worst part of about 9 degrees in the evening.
Oof.
It's going to be a bit chilly. We know that the Afrikaans boys play well at home, but they don't really galvanize and play well overseas necessarily. And with the hodgepodge team, with Munster coming, and you're gonna, it's all there for me. I can't believe that they're 3 points.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, I think the Vodacom Blue Bulls it'll be a tough ask, and I think that game they lose by double digits.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I think that's a good call. I would say that Northampton are good for a double-point victory there, and I'd be guessing in the 26-14 range.
Yeah, I think I have it at 25-14.
Okay.
So, but it wouldn't surprise me if the mentality snaps and they give up. If they could be a big score.
Yeah.
And I'd even look for a -10 handicap for Northampton.
I'm sure you
on
can
that
get good odds on that, right?
Yeah. So for me, that's one of the best bets of the year.
Yeah.
You got to jump on that, and I hate to bet against South African teams. But you don't bet with your heart, do you?
Prove us wrong, Bulls. Come on.
Yeah, prove us wrong. I'm going to put a couple grand down to win back 4,800, including my stake. That the Bulls can't, the Vodacom Bulls can't do it this week. Now on to Edinburgh versus the Sharks. Sharks have shown a little bit of improvement lately.
I mean, anything from you can't win is an improvement, right? Everywhere's up from there. But they have. I mean, if you go, depending on how you slice it, if you go on form since their last loss, out of all the South African teams, the Sharks are the hottest. They've won 3 in a row. So it depends how you slice it. But what's interesting is they're playing Edinburgh, who are 9th in the URC. The Sharks have climbed from the basement to 13th. They've won 3 of 10 games in the URC. And they're the favourites to beat Edinburgh this week, who they beat at the end of March at the same location, same venue. So
where
they played Edinburgh end of March in the URC, and they beat them.
Didn't they play in Edinburgh?
I thought that was in Derbs. Pretty sure that was in Derbs.
Well,
check it out.
Okay, hold on a second.
Check it out.
It was, bud. It was. But you know the last 2 times they played in Edinburgh on January 23rd, January 28th, 23 last year, and beat Edinburgh as well.
Just saying. Those Scots don't like to come here. The altitude at Kings Park and the slippery conditions, man, the humidity and just the general of those overcast Durban skies. I don't think they like that. I don't know. Whatever it is, you feel like the Sharks have got their number. And in terms of where the Sharks are in the season, one way for redeeming themselves from a terrible start to the URC is to do well in Europe, which they have done in the Challenge Cup.
But saying that they had a terrible start to the URC is an insult to a terrible team.
Exactly, mate.
I mean, it's been...
yeah. But they can kind of redeem themselves, right? If they go deep into the Challenge Cup, maybe even win this thing, it does kind of make up for how bad they've been in the URC. So what I'm trying to say is I think they'll be very motivated.
Yeah, they've got no chance of making the playoffs in the URC.
Right.
The 12th, 13th position.
Yeah. Won 3 out of, 3 out of 13?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 out of 13.
So they're not going to be thinking about next week and blah, blah, blah. They're going to be thinking about this week. Let's win this game. Yeah. If anything, their resources will be focused on Challenge Cup success.
Okay.
I think.
Now, I got your blue plums on the table.
I can feel it down in my plums.
And give me 2 scores for these games.
Okay, I'm going to say Northampton
Yeah.
are going to edge the Bulls.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
26-12.
You really are. I don't know. I do love our conversation. I think 25-14 is the score.
You're
that I have.
piggybacking on my result. I can't believe it. Just trying to get the little edges in there. I like the way you think.
Yeah, I like the way
We're
you
on the
think.
same page.
And I think with the Sharks, you're probably looking at a score of around 26-18 for the Sharks.
Yes, I think it may be a bit closer. I think maybe a bit more squeaky bum stuff. But I'd give it to the Sharks as well. I'm going to say Sharks by 6. I'd go in that range, 26-20, somewhere around there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're in agreement. Good luck to everybody that's laying a little wager this weekend, and hope every bet's a winning one.
Yes.
Thanks.
Nice.